Hi everyone, welcome to Live Reality Games podcast. My name is Josh, and we are joined here today with Vince and Hoppo. We are going to be discussing episode 1 of Backyard Survivor season 4, Redemption. Exciting! Woo.
Yes, what a great introduction, Josh. I think hopefully the viewers
Thank you.
will know us by now, both of us. Also, a big welcome to our superstar today, Hoppo, who's joined us today to discuss the recap. Hoppo, so your season's ended. How do you feel watching a new season?
I'm excited to see. I was excited to watch most of my season because you miss out on so much when you're on one side of the of a tribe and you don't get to see the mess that happens on the other side. So I'm excited to watch again. Just not even being, not playing, not crewing, just simply enjoying the show.
Yep. What do you think? Who's your winner pick actually? Because
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine's actually Salvador.
Why?
It's probably like his intro video was like cheeky. He was funny, but he's a dad. He's mature as well. He has the best of both worlds. And you know what? He wants to play a very similar game to what I tried to do in Canberra. He wants to play a middle of the road game, but he might do it better than I because maybe he's liked by more people.
He's not seen as a villain.
That's right. Yet.
Yeah, yet. So I guess we should get into the theme of the season, because we finally work out what it is about. So it's essentially Redemption Island. What are your thoughts, Vince?
It's a kind of departure than the normal battle back that we had, and I think it's kind of based on the title, we should have known, but it's also playing to 3 people coming back first boot redemption as well. Just this note, all 3 of us has been first boot, so Holly has been the first boot as well. But we welcome Holly with open arms, a lot of love. It's not you, it's them.
That's right.
Poor Holly's in her own club at the moment in Australian LRGs.
Was anyone shocked to see that it was actually the 3 returnee, like first boots? Or when we saw Redemption, were you expecting it to be just like a full returnee season, or did you expect it to be the way it is?
Because it announced 3 first boot on the hill. That's why I think it wasn't the title and the 3 people stand in a hill was announced at the same time.
In the logo is actually 3.
In the logo it's only 3 people.
I haven't received mine yet, but I haven't noticed that.
But and it's interesting. I think Holly's in the middle as well. So good.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I just want to say, I actually, just from the start, just from the first couple of minutes, the intro was just amazing. It was upped it so much more, and it was just so. It's a great way to start a fan-made Survivor, is to make it as realistic as possible.
And camp.
Oh yeah.
Camp, and you want
in
the show because you'd be like,
Yeah.
It gives me Australian Survivor vibes where they're walking in certain
through the jungle, the bush.
The vibes. It's really cool. We didn't get any sort of Mad Max cars, but that's fine.
It'd be nice if they carried a torch. And
the 3, just the 3.
No, everyone carried a torch.
Everyone,
and then stand and be like, "Who's that?"
I reckon it would have been cool if the 3 carried in their torches that didn't have light and they got relit at the start. That would have been epic. That would have been really, really epic.
It's we're back, bitches. We're ready.
Yeah.
And then they have an opening line, be like, "I'm back, bitches."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wanted sass, but there was no sass, and it was
give me a Real Housewives introduction. When they're saying something really sassy about themselves, it's just
I wanted that. Well, that's so bad, but we didn't get it. But that's okay. So we see 15 players walk over the hill, the mound of dirt. I personally would have struggled getting up that hill of dirt.
Oh, please.
But-
I would have needed a helicopter to get me over the hill. Like, seriously.
we all need a Michael. Like, if we can have a bunch of Michaels helping everyone up,
What a gentleman,
That'd be
though.
great.
Like,
Yeah, well,
bringing
I
it
know.
really.
and I said,
playing the social game straight away.
And I said, he's like the Julie. Unfortunately, is the crystal of the from Gabon that they need help to push her out. And then and I was like, who is the crystal? Who is the crystal? And it's Julie. Michael did really helpful. And he's the only one who was left.
Yeah, they're like, no, I'm out of here. And he was just like, I'll wait behind.
I'll help Julie. That's fine. It was actually like, it was really weird because like the game hasn't even started, but like you could tell that he was like already playing. Which
It's a good way to win. It's a good way to win somebody's. He's winning her over straight away by lending that hand to get her over. So.
Yeah, well, she even says, like, I'm gonna step forward like a fair bit, where Fu gets that idol, and then Julie's like, "Can we give it to Michael because Michael helped me up the hill?" Like she remembers it. It's actually it's just small things. Small things you just notice, and it's just they can obviously lead into great success in the future.
He says, Michael has plans for a channel in New Zealand. I don't get this.
You have to watch his video. He nearly killed his missus. Yeah.
Is this a VIP thing that we missed?
It's part of. I don't know if it's part of his like free one. Vince, you need to buy the VIP experience. You're missing out. If you're not in the VIP lounge, you don't know the whole story.
If you're not watching Untitled, yeah.
But we see 15 people walk over the hill. 14 with Julie being carried up by Michael. We get to the start. We get a little bit of rundown. People talk about themselves. We get to meet a couple of people. Does anybody have any good first impressions?
Hoppo, go.
No, I did say early on, before I did my boot list originally, from the videos, I thought, maybe Fu's going to be a weaker contestant, but she actually really, really surprised me straight up. And Rachel was a powerhouse. Just the way she was talking, the way she's got her game planned out, I was really impressed.
I want to second on Hoppo. I wasn't high on Rachel in her intro, but she stood out so much in this episode, and I was so impressed. I'm glad that she proved me wrong. I think she will go to merge. She has a solid alliance. I hope she goes to merge, and I hope she gets to the end as well. Yeah.
Did anybody find anybody that they thought were going to be more better than what they were, like by the intro videos? Like, did anybody disappoint you, or does this cast seem sort of stacked? To me, it seems stacked, but
I like Dan a lot. I like Dan, but I think he's coming in a bit too over the top at the start. You never want to be the one that everybody can hear all the time. I know that he's has an acting background, and he's obviously that's his personality. But sometimes you just got to reel it in at the start, and then.
I disagree with her, bro. I feel like in this kind of short game, his personality is gonna carry through in the beginning. Maybe a little later down the line, that might get irritated. But I remember my experience with big characters such as Tara and Calvin. We instantly know they're gonna be a shield, so we can hide behind them because they're the loudest person. Everyone's gonna gravitate towards them. Look at them as a big mark. So I don't know how loud is Dan in the camp, but I was enjoying Cam. He's really funny. I'm loving him.
He's got a good connection with the young guy, Jake. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah. So we get the three come over the hill. Apparently the crew didn't even know. There's actually a video on the Backyard Survivor page, video YouTube page, and none of the crew ever knew. Them boys know how to keep a secret. Just saying.
Not like us.
Not like us. We are horrible at it. Don't tell us anything. We'll tell the world. But no, they really did really well with that. Like, not even the other I'm assuming all first boots do, but like that would have been hard for them to keep it a secret for that long.
Yeah, and especially
Like even like like pre-planning like all of the challenges as well. Like they would have had to have extra challenges put in because there's another 3 people. Yeah, it's crazy. It was actually really cool. I enjoyed it.
What do we think about? What do we think about how the team captains chose their team? Do you think there was any sort of strategy going into how they chose each of their team members, or?
Yes, just to jump a little bit backwards. I'm glad they have like a sort of a summit then where they're like or hang out and talk to each other, and I don't know how long is that. But it's kind of nice for them to like get a vibe from everyone else, and then obviously they're gonna put a lot of power into the returning players. But since their first boot, I feel like they needed this because they are the big target if they lose the challenge. Well, obviously you've seen Holly go home. If I doubt that if they don't have that, I 100% think Holly's going to go home, or any first going to go home straight away if they don't have that advantage. I sort of.
Yeah, look. Survivor for me isn't eating breakfast. So I found the whole eating food thing in the morning really weird. I do understand there was letters on the bananas. I have no idea what that means, and I don't know if
it's spelled.
It says logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or something like it's spelled a board.
It's spelled something. And then you look on the
rug. It all leads to that corner rug thing, and they're just stuff.
Yeah. Okay. What are we thinking that was?
I have an opinion on that. I think I don't know how long they spend. As I mentioned, how long they spend on the spot. It's really, and then you have like meeting new people, and then you have to look at the banana with the name, and you have to find 6 bananas or whatever, 5 bananas that spell out the whatever that thing is, and then you have to look at the thing, and then you have to find the cross in the map. And I like it's the subtle. I love it, but I just feel like it could be worked into sort of a long, sort of maybe in a tri-flag where they can look at it all the time instead of just that brief, short period of time they only had like probably like 5 minutes to process everything in one go. And
no one's going to race off in that first instance and be like, you know what, I'm just going to follow these clues and find this idol. Like that would be.
Well, I mean, David does look very suspicious while he's looking for stuff, and people call him out straight away. Which is quite funny. But that's first boot vibes, like you don't want to be first boot again, so you'll do anything not to be.
Hang on, I have one more point in the race, which I was gonna say. Yes, the breakfast thing. I don't like them to have something to eat in the beginning. Just starve them. It's a vibe.
They'll probably just come straight from Macca's drive-through, when they first got there, so they're already full.
Stop giving them food.
I don't like the food. But I like the idea of like the idol clue. I like the subtle hints for where this potential thing could be. I think if you were looking out for something, you probably would have seen the X on that on that board. You would have been like, "Why is there 3 red dots? This is really weird."
You have to look at the board. You have to spend time away from people at the board, though. So
but like you could bring people over to the board. Like, let's go look at the board. Like like nobody knows anything.
Who's going to say, "Let's go over to the board"?
Let's go look at the board.
Let's go hang out by the board. Why not?
I mean, Peterson would definitely do that. Let's go hang out by the board.
Yeah.
And I can see that.
Yeah, like people should be like looking at that as well and be like, okay, cool. There's something potentially here. Like, it's not going to just be out in the open, like underneath a fruit bowl. You know it's going to be hard to get because there is 18 people there, unless they put it legit right in the middle. And then it's free for all, and then somebody grabs it.
Yes, which that should happen.
Which I'm either like this idea or put a big moral dilemma right in the middle of camp.
Yeah.
Right before they even start the game. That would have been interesting too.
Amy said there was successful for a little while and did some opening confession by the time they got to breakfast. Rolling. No, Amy, we can survive not eating for a day. We can establish that.
Amy is going to be mortified when she watches season 3 in Melbourne.
No food.
No food whatsoever. Hangry is great TV. But I don't hate this idea. I actually like it better because like last season we had like way too many idols, right? And they were pretty simple to get. It's just like you go to Exile Island. Here's an idol.
Waiting for you.
Yeah, I like this better. I like this better, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like you mentioned before, David finding the idol. It's hello.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Have you not
Like
learned?
I get it. I get it. I get it because he doesn't want to be first boot again, and I do get it, but not in front of 18 people.
17.
Unless it was like a, well, 17 others, yeah. Unless it's like a guaranteed idol, like, you know.
But isn't that just exactly the same as what you suggested earlier? Let's all go hang out by the banner. Like, you're doing it in front of all these people.
Yeah.
No, but like that stuff's like inconspicuous, right? That stuff doesn't mean shit.
It's Josh. Oh no,
Yeah.
well, that's not subtle at all. Just look at the board. Maybe there's something in there. Wow, that's not really subtle.
Yeah. What's your so back to Hoppo's question before about having the captains be the first boots. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense. I don't like how they picked in order. So it went from like David Kiara, well, David Holly Kiara, David Holly Kiara. I think it should have went. I think it should have went backwards. So like, you know, once you've picked, so it should have gone like David Holly Kiara, Kiara Holly David.
Oh, you mean
David
like
Holly Kiara.
I-
So like it goes back and forward. Yeah. That way Dave doesn't pick 1, 4, 7. You know, gets all the stronger pick numbers. So it makes it
And-
fairer. It was really unfair on Kiara. However, I don't think it's unfair on Kiara with her tribe. I think
Kiara
she's
got a
really good.
Kiara got a nice strong tribe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, she did.
I
She
think
did.
Holly,
Yeah.
Holly is the one who suffered the most, I think, because David had the opportunity to pick Julie, which I think his strategy is for her to be the easy first boot, obviously. And then
But everybody has a chance to pick Julie, like unless she's like first in the first 3 gone, right? Everyone had that prior opportunity to pick Julie if
But I
you
think-
wanted her to be like an easy boot, right?
but
I think Josh. I think who chose Julie again?
David.
David.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually have Julie down as my runner-up for this season, and we all know
Yeah.
why, because I do love
Yes.
myself
The old lady brigade.
old lady brigade. But I don't know. Maybe he did choose it for that. I don't know whether he. Yeah, maybe he did, but I see her. I see Julie getting along with quite a few players and going far in this game. So that may backfire on David if that's what his reason was to choose her.
She did have a great edit this episode when people are noting that.
Yeah.
She's valuable to the tribe. So
Yeah, well, Fiona had that confessional where like she's like under the radar, like strategic threat potentially. Need to keep my eyes.
The only thing I don't like, and it worked for Rachel, but obviously short games is making up a whole story about your background and your job and all that sort of thing. But I think Fiona already mucked her story up. I think she said she was one thing and then come out and said she was a lawyer later. So maybe if you're not as switched on in regards to making up a whole story about your background, maybe just don't do it in a short game.
I don't know whether she mentioned she's doing another job, but she did mention. I think she skipped around that.
Oh, she meant to. Okay, so she meant
Yeah,
to
she
make up
skirted
a story,
around
but she
that
was saying she's a lawyer. Yeah,
But
She
Um,
sort of like deflected the question to something
Yeah.
else.
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of people making up history because it just if you get further in the game, it just makes up more things you got to try and remember about what you told people at the start.
yeah. I don't think I would remember someone's occupation. I mean, hardly remember names. 17 other names, and I don't think I would remember their occupation that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use this.
I
I
don't
use
think,
a
like,
fan, you don't fans
occupation.
of schoolyard picks though. You don't like schoolyard picks typically in Survivor.
Yeah.
I love a schoolyard pick, but
Yes, yeah, I like. I mean, I always get picked last anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'll join the club, girlfriend.
I think like the schoolyard pick's fine, but I don't think it should be like up to one person.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like it should be the next person that was picked that picks the next person. So like say for example I choose Hoppo then should choose somebody else. I don't think I should be able to choose again.
Yeah.
It gave a lot of power to the first boots. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But
to be
clearly-
fair,
Clearly it didn't work out for someone.
didn't work
But
for one person. Yeah.
But I do think they need that leg up, like the leg ups, because
Mm.
they're easy target. Like, oh, they done it before. We all knew people, get them out, which they did. So
I think it's unfair to say that though, because like they've only been in there for one round. Yes, they've had like a little bit more time in like the Survivor world, like LRG world, right? But when you first boot, it literally shows nothing about your game.
But
at
it's
all.
an easy target. It's an easy target.
Oh yeah, it's an easy target.
So you can't.
But I also think it's harder to get rid of somebody again as a first boot, because like there's such like a moral like respect there where it's just like they've been first boot, we can't do it again.
Well, obviously this season they don't care.
It's full of bloody savages. It's very.
I have a question,
apparent.
Josh. If you had the choice, would you put Holly out if you're given the choice?
I don't think I could.
Hoppo.
Yes. Only because like it's got to be about what's best for your game. It can't be best about your. I feel sorry because she went first last time. It's got to be what suits your game, not about. I mean, yes, there has to be some sort of moral dilemma there, but I mean, if she's not in your alliance or you haven't connected with her, then it's sad to say, but yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like Holly, look, I think we'll get to Holly's boot out when we get to that point. I have a lot to say about it.
Matt, just want to say, why are you lying about not wanting this power for yourself? Which is true. We all know Josh wants this power.
I love power, right? If you give me power in Survivor, I will take it and I'll ride with it, right? But I just think that I don't think it's like the right game mechanic, personally.
But then maybe they should have been all. Maybe they should have all been put on Redemption Island for the first 3 votes, so they all safe if that's what the case is. But I mean, that wasn't the case. They're all up for equal opportunity. So
yeah, I'm also glad that they didn't make them immune like they have. I can't remember what season it was, American season, where they were immune for the first.
No.
There was an American season where the redemption people were the people that came back were immune for one episode. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
I'm not interested in free rides for people. Like if you're terrible the first time and you're terrible the second time, you need to go.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, they're already given second chance to come back to the game, so why don't need
exactly make the best of it? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the tribe. Let's talk about the tribes. So we've got Red Tribe. This is Holly's tribe. Well, no longer Holly's tribe. Birak is their name.
If anyone in the comments please tell us what the tribes are called, thank you.
We can't remember.
You should have
I remember Birak.
Let me do it. Let me Google it.
I tried Googling, I couldn't find it.
I should have done that. My bad. It's on the Facebook. It has David, Julie, Michael up on my head.
Red Tribe. Oh, Blue Tribe is David, Fiona, Fu, Julie, Dan, Jake.
Yeah.
Red, Holly, Rachel, Ken, Matt C, Michael, Josh. Yellow, Kiara, Sal, Matt B, Jojo, Abby, and Valentina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously there was a difference proportion of men versus women. But I don't really think that's. I mean, I know everyone wants it to be even, and but I don't think it needs to be. I think it's if they're purely going to base their decision on whether they're male or female, then to vote it out, then I think not a great player.
Yeah, not a great player at all. Just voting based on like.
I don't know. I kind of like an even gender because you could have like all female alliance or like all male alliance to sort of. It's I don't know.
It's so 20.
Has that ever worked? Has anyone ever done an all-male female alliance and actually got anywhere with it? I don't.
All women alliance did, but not them. Not women, but I'm trying to get the thing up. Sorry.
So I think there's a mistake that Holly makes in picking these tribes, where she either has to choose Josh or Joanna at the end. I really think she should have picked Joanna.
I think she needed another female in there with her.
I think so too. Yeah. As much as we were talking about like gender doesn't really matter in this game as far as like voting them out.
Yeah.
I still feel like it should have been. We should have had like an even split of females and males between the tribes. So I feel like that's the game breaker for Holly moving forward, because obviously further in the episode we see stuff with Josh. Yeah, I think
Well,
that's
the
very
Blue
good.
Tribe's the only one that's
That's
equal.
Yeah,
Blue
the
Tribe's the only one that
has
has 3-3. 3 girls, 3 boys.
Can I just mention that Joe really impressed me as well. I wasn't really hard on her, just like Rachel, but she is so funny. I love her. Great on you, Joe. Hope to see you more. Fellow emo
Yeah, she's actually. This cast is so great though. Like, there's nobody in this cast where I'm like, nah.
There's no one that
Like,
hasn't actually come front and center at the moment. Like the first episode, they really got their own. You got
Yeah,
a
they
real
did.
sense of who their character is and who their personality is, which was good.
Well done to the editing
people.
team, because you really got to know people.
Yeah, a few people. It's like, I think Salvatore wasn't that prominent. I think.
Don't come for Salvatore, my friend. Do not come for Salvatore. So yeah, no, a couple of them didn't, weren't as prominent, but I mean they were still there, which was always good. I think there was definitely some standouts from the first episode in regards to getting to know them more.
Yeah. So let's go into the tribes and how they go back at camp. So I like this idea where they're like, go and search for your stuff, because it's going to be bloody hot in a couple of minutes and you need some shelter.
Oh, can we talk about the shelter? I'm not really high on that. I'm not high on.
I mean, it is like
it is a 40-degree day. So.
That is true.
A little 4x4 piece of tarp's not going to help you, unfortunately.
Yeah. They're not playing in winter.
I mean, their watering well was amazing. I thought that was
great. Love it.
Yep. The amount of inspiration that we're going to take from season 4. Inspiration. It will be great.
I mean, I don't know if I could handle that heat. I mean, I think I'd just be like laying my head over in the watering well and just like it looks terrible.
I'm actually very used to that heat. Obviously, living in the country, like at 45-degree days and stuff. I was fine. I would be fine with it.
I'm from Malaysia, so I can handle the heat. So
I'm from country New South Wales, but it got to 49.9 degrees, so I'm fine as well. But I mean, I'm fat.
We'll all be fine. We'll handle it, I reckon.
Michael, we were playing Survivor.
I mean, are we the savages, or are the people that voted out Holly savages?
Oh,
I think it's up in the air for who the savages are.
That is true. You crush people's dreams.
Yeah. Don't come for us, Michael. Okay. Let's talk about Blue Tribe. So they get to camp. We've got Dan, Jake go off one way. We've got Julie and
Fu
go off another way. And Julie's finding everything. Do you think like she might eventually like find something else, like an idol, a future part of the game, or because she is finding these things, she's becoming really good at like finding stuff in the bush?
I mean, there's a big difference between finding, a 3 meter long plastic, tubing and a small idol that's hidden in a bush somewhere. But
and it's white color. It stood out in the bush.
Hey, we don't know what the idols will be. Last season it was a dinner plate.
That is true.
Like, we don't know. The idol could be their shelter.
I think she's more switched on than people gave her credit for. Probably seeing the older lady at the start, they're like, "Oh, here we go." But I mean, I think she might be a little bit more switched on than they're giving her, probably initial credit for.
Yeah, it's a good question, Aston. People probably are just talking strategy and looking for idols. And
well, David was definitely idol hunting. I don't think he was looking for any pegs or anything for the shelter.
He got himself in so much trouble. Like, he's in trouble come next.
I think he is in trouble. Anyway, yeah. They don't trust him. I don't think they give him off.
Well, yeah,
the dinner plate idol.
Can you find that? Oh, yes, it's that huge plate sitting over there.
It's the one hanging in the tree in front of your face, Hal. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So who stands out in Blue Tribe for you guys? Who do you think is going to lead that tribe or stand out?
I've got good feelings for Jake. And I also think Fu and Fiona. I think them three will sort of dominate that tribe.
I don't know about Fiona. I'm still on the fence about Fiona. I'm not sure where I think she's sitting at and where she's gonna go. Jake, I think he could be a strong player. I just don't want him to just constantly be in Dan's shadow. Like, I don't want him to just be a follower of Dan's. Yeah. Fu's obviously a standout. I think Julie will go along for the ride, and I think Dan's probably going to be there for a long time as well if they do well.
What do you guys think if they go to tribal? Who will be the first Fu? What do you guys
David.
think? David. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but unfortunately, I think he's done it to himself already in that first. It's just very sneaky and very
And then Rachel
I also
was like,
think
"Are you finding an idol?" I mean, like that is so obvious. Like seriously.
Yeah.
I also think as well, because Holly's been voted out, people will be like, "Oh, it's okay to vote out the first Fu again."
Yeah.
So
Well,
let's
they're
just
not
do it,
first Fu anymore. They're not.
No,
first
no,
Fu anymore.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I think that will be David's downfall. Like, look, I love how David plays. I love how he's playing hard and everything like that. But if the cast isn't playing hard, if the rest of the cast isn't playing hard, you can't do that by yourself.
But I think they have a strong. I think they probably have the stronger tribe out of the three if they can work together well.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Dan and Jake have built like trucks, so they're fine for quite a while.
I think there's a difference between playing hard and playing smart. So playing hard doesn't equal success most of the time.
Yeah.
It never does. I don't think it ever has.
No. Play smart. Play with your people. Like the people doesn't do anything, you don't do anything. The people.
I mean, it's great for us.
I mean, it was a bit awkward
for us as viewers.
It was awkward when David went up to Michael and said, "Oh, let's work together. We used to work together." And like Michael was like,
"Okay, bye,
bye."
I'm not surprised that he picked him in this tribe as well. Like, obviously, you get not good vibes. So why do you still pick him?
That's actually good. It's actually a good point because like he actually said he wanted to work with him, and then there's another confession with David saying, "Oh, he didn't really give me anything," so he sort of was just like, maybe I'm not going to work with Michael now, and then didn't choose him. I also want to jump back a little bit. So Jake and Abby have like this scene of like the young kids, and all like the hype music around it and stuff like that. I just feel like we're gonna get like this like onslaught of like young kids just like overtaking everyone soon.
No, that's only 2 people.
Yeah, but I feel like them two, like like could be final too. Who knows?
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I could.
Abby's very switched on, and obviously she comes from the the all background, and she's very cluey. But I mean, she's sitting in a good spot. She seems to be making good connections on her tribe, but I just don't see her and Jake coming together. Or one of them won't make merge. I don't think one of them will make merge.
And considering this cast is a lot more like kids, like daddy heavy, I doubt that everyone's in the different life stage. They marry and have kids and stuff. It's gonna be hard for them to connect better than the young kids who probably just out of school.
It is a daddy season, isn't it? There's a lot of dads in this.
Yeah, daddy season.
Yeah. If you don't have a kid, you're the odd one out this time.
That is true.
Let's jump over to the yellow tribe. So this is Kiara, Salvador, Abby, Matt B, Mr. Bulldog himself, Valentina, and Jojo.
I actually had Valentina down as my first boot of the season. I don't know where she's going to sit going forward still. So I'm not too sure about Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina is one of my people. I don't think that will make it further on this tribe, unfortunately. I don't think she's making enough connections. However, I would say she's the one that we haven't seen much of out of the whole cast.
No,
she'd be the one person.
She has few confessions. I don't think Salvatore stood out.
No, we've seen Salvador a fair bit.
I think Sal was more background than front and center.
In there, like talking about finding stuff.
See, I don't really remember Valentina. I remember Salvador. To be
I
fair.
think her and
But, I mean,
Kiara need to team up together because their personalities aren't strong compared to the other four. So I think they need to come together and try and do something because I think they're going to be easy pickings otherwise.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I think Kiara though, like as much as like her personality isn't as high as like say Joanna's and stuff like that in this tribe, she seems to be fitting in really well and like making really good connections with everyone within this tribe.
But I thought
It was
Holly
all-
was doing that in her tribe too. I thought Holly was off to a decent start with, Matt C and all that sort of thing. So, I mean, obviously, it's
Never
the
trust
first
Matt
episode.
C. I think
Well,
we've
that's
learned that.
true. That is true.
We've learned that now. Never trust Matt C. Yeah, I just feel like she's making like really good connections within her tribe, and like I feel like other people as well. She's made connections with quite well as well from other tribes as well from that pre-game part.
And I think out of the first returnees, I think she's the one to get. I bet that make the first, like the most
furthest,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just due to how I think she definitely needs this chance to prove herself, and I'm glad she's getting this chance as well.
Yeah. Like I
can we
said
also
before,
talk
first
about-
boots need the chance to prove themselves.
can we also talk about Yellow Tribe disaster of trying to find stuff? I think they show they clearly struggle finding stuff.
Like, did they have this? Was the space the size of the Sahara Desert? Because I mean, they just couldn't find a thing. They could not find a single thing for ages. What it seemed like ages anyway.
And they had a shit cam. It's like really like dry. It's like a desert. Yeah, like
I mean,
you said.
it's the bush in Western Australia. I don't think we're going to get green scenery for some reason.
We don't even have green scenery here anyway, so
yeah, we don't. But yeah, it looks compared to the other camps, it looks not really good. I'm assuming that's the camp they will get rid of when they go down to 2 tribes.
Oh, maybe, yeah. You would hope so.
Yeah, for their sake. Yeah, unless they make it merge tribe just to be like real nasty. But they did give him food first thing in the morning, so I highly doubt that will be the case.
Don't they usually give reward as well, like every single like challenge? I think they do, like coffee or tea and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, sometimes rewards are like this time they got the reward of the blankets and the thingamabobs. No,
Yeah, so those thingamabobs.
the seats things, the things you sit on, the cushions. That's the word.
Let's go to red since Matt here. They got green. They got
Yeah.
lagoon for recreation over at Iraq.
Let's talk about this tribe for a second.
Yes.
So we got Matsy, Rachel, Michael, Holly, Josh, and Ken. My first look at this tribe, I thought Ken was a goner straight
Yeah,
away.
me too.
Yeah, I'm like, Ken is gone. And I'm assuming that's why Blue give the Thingo team later.
I'm shocked that Fu didn't give it to Holly. Or Josh. I had a feeling that she's going to go for Josh to give the idol to, but would have been more, maybe why. I'm just wondering why they didn't give it to Holly, thinking that, or is it just did they think she was safe, maybe, like, as a first boot returnee?
They thought they were not going to be savage.
Mm.
I mean, I didn't expect it at all.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
I was shocked. I'm like,
so we're not sure whether Fu gave it the right person or not. It's definitely come time to Josh or Cam because obviously she's not going to mix up a female name with a male name. So
Yes, yeah.
sadly, Holly's gone regardless. But can we talk like the little segment they have, finding supplies and stuff? Anyone stood up to you in that segment?
oh, Rachel for sure.
Mm.
Rachel's like really, really strong, and everyone loves Matt C. So he's just got like everyone wrapped around his fingers.
Do they love him or do they love his very tiny water bottle? I mean,
Yeah, what the water? What? He's got. I think it was a tactic. I think I feel.
Let me fill it up every 5 minutes. We'll go to the watering well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good tactic.
Yeah.
I reckon.
No, Rachel and Matt C,
Yeah,
I think, are definitely a strong duo that's going to form on that tribe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think Michael will be like the third wheel.
I think so, yeah.
And then you'll have like Josh and Ken now fighting.
Oh, they're definitely in trouble, those two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
Um,
Rachel, Matt, C, and
I think they'll be driving, and I think Mark will be in the back seat,
okay.
sort of situation. Yeah, at the moment.
I want to get to the challenge because this challenge is really exciting. I love these challenges where there's multiple parts. I think it makes everyone feel involved. Maybe not.
Unless
Um,
they didn't get a chance to play.
yeah, unless you're Josh. Or Michael, who didn't get to even touch anything at all.
And then the throwing as well. They didn't throw. They didn't do the.
No, they got to the throwing.
Ken got one ball in, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Ken got 1 or 2 balls in. Yeah.
Mm.
And he went to camp saying he was sorry. Dude, not your fault. Not your fault. Josh clearly just can't jump over.
I think Josh went too fast, and he just got
Yeah.
mangled in that thing.
Ankle, knee. Yeah.
Yeah, he hit his knee on the way over.
I don't know why. Can I just say, I don't know why Matt C was chosen for the first one. That was
No,
like a weird.
The first one
The
was
second one.
second one. Yeah,
The
the first
blind-
one.
Yeah, they were blind with a blindfold on. That
Yeah,
was the first one.
Matt. That's right. Matt did the untangling. I thought it could have been a bigger strength at like jumping over that. The what's that thing called?
Yeah,
The
he's old though. His
bouncing-
knees would probably not be well anymore.
Can I just say, like, only Abby was running in the first play with a blindfold? I think
Yeah.
everyone's sort of like.
That was strange the way they were walking, like they were, like that was strange.
I wonder if they didn't know. I wonder if they knew there was no obstacles on it.
I mean, you're blindfolded to an extent, but you can still sort of see a little bit. Like you can see that there's no object in front of you. I mean, I think there was a moment when somebody said in their confessional about, like it's not like you're doing something, you're just simply running in a straight line, or especially you're just like going in a straight line. I think it was Josh maybe said something about
Yeah, Holly. Yeah,
Holly, yeah.
you're going in a straight line. Why did
Literally
you
going in a
walk?
straight
You
line.
should have run. Yeah. That was so sassy. It was great. I love his confessionals. They're really good. The production level though is definitely stepped up from season 3. These challenges would have taken a while to create.
Yeah, especially at the end, they have to make 3 of those.
Yeah.
I think you need to borrow that from Backyard Boys, that last challenge. It's such a good challenge.
We will take inspiration.
Yeah.
We do have one. Someone in Melbourne created it, and then we have
that's
one.
good.
We had just one.
Yes, some guy in Melbourne created one. And then he put it up on a Buy Swap Sell page to get rid of.
I mean, their tactic was really good though. The way they just simply just went woof and like got it up there. Like Sloan said, he doesn't win the race in this instance. It's just like get the ball to the top.
So Matt was saying Josh was very confident being agile, so come through Josh. Well, yeah, Josh looks agile. Yes. Jill said, yeah, okay.
What did Holly say?
We had to spin around blindfold before trying to go in a straight line. Oh,
okay.
So that's why they were like wonky.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. I didn't see that part.
I painted the cheese grater thing that Michael didn't even get to do. What's a cheese grater?
Yeah. Amy, Queen Amy prevails again.
Probably need wider hearts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think either that or you could have they could have really cut down painting time if they had like a snake. Like in the season how they just have a snake.
Yeah.
Snake. They could have cut down a lot of time by doing that potentially. By painting and stuff like that. Obviously it might have been harder to cut out because they just look like a hole cutter on a board and they just cut out the holes.
I mean, they're in lockdown probably for most of that. They thought, what else we got to do? We might as well.
That is true.
WA. No, it's WA. They went in lockdown.
Wait, yeah, it's WA.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Not free. Sorry.
Yeah.
Traumatizing coming back.
I love the challenge though. Like I love these part challenges where it's I really liked it.
Do we think everyone that was suited for the thing they were given? I mean, obviously some people have said I'm better at this than that, but it's fair enough.
I think Matt C probably shouldn't have span around the pole because when he fell over, it was funny.
Do you reckon that was for dramatics on Matty Ching's side? Do you reckon that's for dramatics or he actually?
I think when you're like spinning on that much, I don't think you can pretend that you're being dramatic.
It just gave me visions of when Calvin did the wall sit in season 2 of Melbourne Survivor, and it was very dramatic stumbling away from the 5-minute
He
warfare.
was struggling. He was struggling.
Yeah, the jelly legs were real for Calvin. I think so. I think Josh probably shouldn't have done the jump over the high beam. But I also don't know who else would have been good at that in his tribe. Maybe Matt C.
It would have probably only been Matt C. Really, that could have jumped over that.
Yeah.
I'm here for the dramatics.
Being taller also helps as well. But I think
Josh was he seemed very short for that, and that's probably why he did hit his.
It's quite high.
As well.
The leg.
I mean, I definitely would have not chosen that.
Rachel may have been good at it too, because Rachel seems like a pocket rocket. She might have been able to just jump over and get it done.
I was going to say something. I forgot. Continue. Sorry.
So we get the end of the challenge. Blue Tribe win. They get the blankets, the pillows, the bigger immunity idol. And we also see Yellow Tribe come in second. So that means David and Kiara are not first boot again.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations. You already made it further than your first time. Which is an achievement. It is an achievement.
Yeah, it is.
So we go back to the blue camp straight away, actually. We get to see them unwrap their stuff, and Fu finds that idol that we've spoken about a bit. And everyone has put their ideas in for who should have it. Also, Fu opening it up and just having an idol in front of everyone. She was probably thinking, I'm in trouble now. My immediate thought would be like, oh, fuck, of course.
Would you have picked it up first, or would you have let somebody else pick it up first?
I pick it up first.
If it's in front of me, I feel like it. Yeah. Well, I guess.
Yeah, I just kicked it out of the way.
I mean, it's like when Liz's bouquet fell in front of me. I picked it up first, you know.
Really? Or did you bash everyone around you for it?
No, don't joke that. It's an inside joke. Anyway, let's just move on. Yes. And then they was grateful for it wasn't for their tribe, so she wasn't in trouble. They get to make a group decision to give it to.
Do we think this idol was the idol that was at the first meeting area?
Yes, it was shown. It was that idol.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And so we have Michael. Julie suggests Michael. People suggest Holly. People suggest Josh. Ken was Ken in the conversation? Like with the people named Ken?
I can't remember hearing Ken's name. It may have been briefly, but I can't remember it being a dominant name.
Yeah. Amy's asked us a question. So
Fu picked it up, but Fiona went to pick it up. Who do you guys think Fiona would have chosen if it was her?
I actually think Fiona probably would have chosen Holly.
No, there's a group decision.
I think it ultimately come down to a group decision.
Yeah. Who would do that? Who would just trying to make,
I think if it wasn't a group decision, I think Fu would have chose Josh.
Yes.
It just depended on if it was a secret or not. In this case, it wasn't.
So Matt said Fu wanted Josh, Julie wanted Michael. They thought Holly wouldn't be able to outfit, so Ken.
Yeah, that deduction makes no sense because there's still two other people it could have been, but we'll go with Ken. Yeah. I mean, Ken does get a vote, so they definitely were able to make sure, they knew he could potentially be getting votes just by how the tribe works and that worked out. Yeah, the vibe. Yeah.
How did Josh swing it so much against him? Because I thought he was a goner. I thought the votes were just going to be piled up on Josh, and then all of a sudden the votes were off him. It was.
Well, I think Rachel and Michael really didn't want to take out Josh first.
Yeah. Michael said the suggestion's giving it to Ken, Holly, or Josh to vote weaker.
Oh yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the red tribe. Yeah, I was thinking Josh is gone, that ankle, it's fucked. Obviously sayonara, but
he didn't tell anybody about the ankle.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah. And no one actually blamed him for the. I mean, did anyone say Josh?
Some people did say that Josh. I think Matt C might have mentioned Josh at one point that he lost the challenge. Really.
Yeah.
But the heat just sort of
he's-
disappeared.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
If there's another conversation we just don't get to see, or maybe the other conversation might come out in the VIP lounge. Ooh, VIP experience.
Are you getting a cut, Josh, or what?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to get him
he's
some more
gonna,
VIP.
he's gonna
I'm trying to
be
get Vince to join the VIP.
He's gonna be a next season.
Yeah.
he's angling himself.
If not, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out, everyone.
butter abs. He's in, back at Survivor.
No, but I just don't. I don't understand how he got his name off.
Mm.
It was really good social play. It must have been.
It is. Yeah.
From what we didn't see. And for him to throw out Holly's name, I thought was like not the way I thought it going, to be honest.
I thought Matt C might have had a connection with. There was an early connection with Holly. I thought maybe he could have been the one to swing the vote back onto Josh and to save Holly. Maybe it's just an easier choice to go with the flow this first vote. But I think if anyone was going to change it back to Josh, I think Matt C had the control on that one.
Yeah, his name was never up.
What the hell?
Really?
That's not what the edit sort of.
I have to
Yeah, the
rewatch
edit-
this episode.
The edit doesn't make me believe that his name wasn't up though.
Yeah.
Like, Matt does try to get onto Ken. That's what I was actually literally about to say.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Matt goes to
Yeah.
Holly and tries to put the votes onto Ken instead. But I thought that was onto Ken instead of Josh because they didn't want to get rid of Josh first.
So then, why was
Um,
Josh's name not out there, considering the epic failure that was the
Everyone just like him.
Yeah. I mean, he's a likable character. I love a bit of sass and I love a bit of personality. So he's got all that going for him.
It's
Yeah.
Confessional
Yeah.
was great, and I love a little bit. Sass in it. Talk shit about your tri-mates. It's good. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's great
And then
TV. We love watching it.
Yeah.
So let's do just a quick hypothetical.
Yeah.
If Blue lost, we had a feeling that it would be David that would be
Yeah.
going home. If
Mhm.
Yellow lost, I don't think Kiara would have been going home. I think it would have been Valentina or Jojo, just from
Yeah.
what I think. But what do you guys think? If Yellow had to go, if they lost, who would have won?
Valentina.
Joe
I
for
think.
me.
I think Joe has a big presence and people like it. She's so funny in the challenge too. So why would you get rid of her? She's funny. People have the loudest voice tend to make the best connection at first, and then they
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So we get to tribal. Josh obviously speaks out a little bit at tribal council as well. He says that he will not discuss the other names, which was quite funny.
Can I also say, like, Ken being the person's going to go voted out, he actually wasn't really present in this episode. So it's more like Josh versus Holly vibe. I wasn't getting Ken versus Holly at all.
Yeah, I wasn't getting Ken.
Yeah.
Ken also needs to stop talking himself down as well. Every single time he gets a confessional, he always talks down on himself, and it's.
He said he's stupid kid, blah blah blah. I was like, no, we're all stupid. So we're all
I mean, I really felt for Holly sitting there when she was talking. You could see how nervous she was, and I thought, did she actually know the writing was on the wall at that stage? Because she just seemed so
she was
downtrodden.
shaking at one point, and I'm just like, oh, don't. I'm like, oh no.
I just wanted her to fight. I wanted to give her a bit of fight in that final trial, in that tribal council. I wanted to sort of stand up a bit and say, well,
who knows? She may become Redemption Island Beast.
Yeah.
And we might get
Holly,
to see her
if you're Holly, I think you're watching, just let us know what do you feel. I mean, obviously we're gonna have X interview with you maybe later, really late down the road, but yeah.
It could be a winner's interview.
Could be a winner's interview.
Yeah.
Kara said Ken actually seemed highly intelligent and self-aware after listening to his MTC.
Meet the cast. Yeah. Yeah.
Holly did. That's my nature, a state of being. Oh, Holly, no.
I think back to Tara's thing, there's a bit difference to having a camera and talking in front of a camera with one person than being in a group environment. I think there's a very different aspect. So
yeah,
had he brought more of that, then maybe he might have been more visual.
And also, did Matt give her a heads up at all? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Matt, can you enlighten us.
Like, it makes sense for Matt to vote because obviously Matt can't get any other votes to save Holly here to vote.
Yeah.
Right. So it makes sense for Matt to vote out Holly.
Especially now that there's no heat actually on Josh, so that was interesting.
However, I just feel like watching it, like when I watched it the first time, I'm just like, I can't believe Matt didn't save her. Like that was like my whole thing going into it. I'm just like, how did Matt not save her? How rude of him.
And Matt didn't tell
What
her
a
as well.
villain.
Yeah.
And Matt didn't tell her as well. So like it's just like it's like a double like jab sort of. It's just like, you know, hit them when they're down. That's what it felt
And
like
especially
when I
these are the
watched
people that she chose. You know what I mean? Like she chose these people.
Yeah.
And then Holly said, I noticed Matt C from the backup Survivor viewer group.
Yeah.
I did watch Holly's asked this question about the voting confessionals. I did watch a voting confessionals. Matt was saying he like really didn't want to vote her out and he tried everything to save her and nothing happened. So I understand it. Yeah.
Was it in the VIP is it in the VIP or is it in public?
I think them ones were exclusive. But then they will be from now on in the VIP lounge for the voting confessional.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'll join this week. I forgot all about it. But, and then we have the Ultimate Redemption Island, which is that long send off with, you know, she was walking forever.
It was so camp. And then she walked and she paused and then she looked up and then she's like, oh.
I wonder if they were yelling at her just like, stop now, stop. Okay, now go now, quick.
Give us that dramatic glance and then keep walking.
Most epic analogy.
Yeah.
Camp, I love it. I love all the camp scene in this season. Hopefully we get more. And it was really far away. Oh. Yeah, it is. It looks quite far.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Uber. Was it really like that as far as they pointed, like that hill? Like, is that where she actually literally had to walk?
I think it's after the hill. It's like yeah. And yeah, I don't know whether she's gonna get shelter, is she gonna get food? Like what's the deal?
I mean, they gave food to the players, so they may as well give food to the like people that are on exile or whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole idea is they've got to fight their way back, so
hopefully not stop them, you know, get exposed to the sun. Start driving the retention content there.
Good on you. That's what I would have needed. Give me a lift.
Yeah, I think they needed. I think they needed it. Imagine you have to walk. So wait, Holly's the one who actually walked to the redemption place.
Yeah, she's been voted out twice. It is the driver. You'll be voted out twice. You don't get a lift. You don't deserve it. You can walk. Okay, so I have been asked to do power rankings for this season. So I have a list of my power rankings from week 1. I split it into.
Why is it only you being asked?
I don't know. I've been asked. So that's Vince's obviously.
It's kind of weird that we didn't.
Jealousy. That's fine. No, because I did it last season. I did it last season by myself.
But we have the Q marrying kids. It's kind of the same with power.
No, but that only just started. Anyway, we're not arguing about this over the thing.
Well, it would be great if you give me a heads up. But...
on domestic. Okay.
I feel like we're all wearing a blue shirt at the moment. It's like that awkward news program. We're like, should I head out and change? Or...
For Amy asked the question, what is a power ranking? So essentially it's how I see people's positions within the game. So who's on top, and who I think is in trouble, essentially. So I've done one for each tribe, and I've done a 1st to 17th power ranking as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So on the red tribe, I have Matt C in control with Rachel following behind. I've got Michael in 3rd place, and then followed by Josh, and then Kat. So that's how I see essentially like the next tribal councils going from that sort of route there.
I'd switch Rachel and Matt C, but anyway.
On the yellow tribe, I've got Kiara up in top. I feel like she has a lot of control on that tribe, and she's only getting positive edit as well. So I can't see her at any type going. I've got Salvador underneath her with Abby, and then followed by Matt B. Followed by Valentina and Joanna. On the blue tribe, I've got Jake in control there. I think he actually will have a big hold on that tribe. Followed by Phil and Fiona, and then followed by Julie. And then I've got Dan and David just down the bottom. I think Dan is probably too polarizing to have much say in that tribe further down the track. So that's why I've put Dan in second and then David in last because of his antics within that. And then for the whole cast, I've got Matsy in pole position, followed by Kiara. And then I've also got Rachel, followed by Abby, Jake, Salvador, Fu, Fiona, Julie, Michael, Matt B, Josh, Dan, Valentina, Ken, David, and Joanna. And it also made a most likely to come back from redemption. I've got Scott Holly there because she's the only one that could be there. But yeah.
Thank you, Josh. That was a lovely segment. Now
No
move
worries.
on to Q, Mary, and Kids. Hoppo, let's go start with you first. What pick one? Which one you want to start with?
I'm going to start with my kill. As much as I adore him, I think he's great, but I have to give it to Josh this week. I think I just can't get over the You put your hand up and say you. I know it's tough being the first challenge, but when you put your hand up saying that you're good at a certain thing and you don't do well at it, and obviously the injury and I love him to death though, but this week I'm gonna have to kill Josh.
Yes. Dustin said, "What? Josh was an amazing character."
Spicy.
I want to kill David because I think we mentioned multiple times coming back and you're not learning from your mistakes, being too obvious, finding idols. Oh well, Josh.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. David for me too. Pretty much exactly same reason. And also getting called out for it already. Is probably not a good thing. Probably not a good thing, especially because he would have eyes on him already because he's a returnee. Don't keep doing stuff to get more eyes on you, for sure.
Hoppo, what do you want to do next?
I'm going to kiss Julie, actually.
Oh, yay.
I think for someone who's probably been underestimated, like a lot of people do in these games, I think she got out there, she got what she needed to do. She, teamed up with a couple of the people and really made a good connection to start off with. She found a lot of those things, and even going from the Instagram posts of who they thought MVP was on the first episode, there was a lot of votes for Julie. So I think she stood out for the right reasons. So I'm going to kiss Julie.
Josh.
Mine is going to Michael. Purely for picking Julie up over the hill. That's it. He hasn't done anything else, but I think purely just due to that pre-game sort of like helping out someone, and then her recognizing that in the future as well. She went out to even save him. Like that's how much she wanted him to stay because of him picking up the hill. So yeah, purely that.
I actually want to kiss Matt C, because he was in control this episode. I mean, even Rachel is, but I think Matt C has a power sort of driving in the driving seats. And yeah. Hoppo, the last one.
I'm going to marry Rachel. I think she's come out as a real strong contender. She's really switched on in the game, and she's taken a pole position spot at, leading the tribe and really being one of the power players. So I think she's done a really good job in the first episode. So I'm going to marry Rachel.
Same. So same reason. She wowed me. She changed my impression. Good episode for Rachel. I think I would rank her like so in that tribe, Rachel and then Matt C, because Matt C tried to put on Ken, but Rachel probably say no. So I think Rachel is the one who's driving the car. And
I agree.
Yeah. I'm like sort of stuck here. I don't know who to marry. I might marry Matt C based on how he handled the whole situation. He tried to save Holly as well. I understand that like he didn't get his way. However, it is a redemption season. So Matt C will still have Holly on his in his lap when she comes back. If she comes back as well. So I'm going to marry Matt C purely due to the fact that he is now in control. With Rachel.
We're not going to have a Brad from Canberra situation here, and you're going to marry the same person every episode, are you, Josh?
No, I didn't marry Brad every episode.
I mean, I kind of did. But he wasn't in
Vince did. Vince had some strange obsession with Brad. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think Matt C did really well this episode. And I really did not expect it. So yeah, props to him. Especially because he just got into the game like 12 hours beforehand. So like for him to like go from like I'm just gonna go crew tomorrow to then like immediately like get into the game. But yeah.
Yeah, Amy will marry Holly. Yes.
Holly. Not for Amy marrying her. Hang on, I'm running through phrases. I think
we also missed Dustin's winner's pick when Josh was giving his spiel.
I put it up though. So
you did. Okay,
yeah.
Yes, there we go.
I did put it up.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
it was great having a Josh segment.
It's only a matter of time before he had his own segment.
Oh yes, it's going to be a spin-off.
I reckon I might do graphics next week. What do you reckon?
Yes. Hoppo, thank you for coming today. Always a pleasure to have you around.
Pleasure.
Josh. So Hoppo, what's my previous recap? Who you got invited for next episode?
We have the wonderful Edgic master herself, Tara, joining us next week. So
Melbourne
Survivor
represents season 2.
Yeah, Colada. Yeah. Ooh. All right. I think that's it. It's a lot to recap. There's a lot of stuff that happened in this episode. Obviously, we probably missed a shit ton of stuff, but that's fine. But yeah, should be fun. Looking forward to getting Tara's view on the season next week. But yeah.
And then she can give us a spiel about Edgic.
She can run through the Edgic with us as well and see how like the editing side of things is looking as well.
Yeah. All right, that's all for tonight. Hoppo, any last words?
No, I think we're in for a bloody good season though. That's all I can think of. It's the first episode.
This is your last 15 minutes of fame, Hoppo.
I know my career's ended. It's retirement from here. Oh my God.
Hoppo, would you apply for Backyard?
I've already discussed this. I mean, I have a fear of flying. But if there's anything to get me going, I think after the first challenge thing, I messaged Carl and said, "Oh my God, I want to do this. That looked like such fun." So if anything was going to get me out of it, maybe it might be a backyard season where I can conquer the fear of flying at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can do like the all stars with 3. You're going to be representing Canberra.
Oh yes, I'm sure I'm top pick for that.
Hoppo the villain, first pick.
I'll come third for villain vote. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Yeah, that is true.
Your 3-2-1 made the number 1 move. Mate.
Yeah, it was
the one move of the season.
Part of the move of the season. What can I say?
I think you were the move. Anyway, but yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week. Unfortunately, there will be no exit interview until someone get out of the show.
Yeah.
Very
Till
good.
then, see you guys next week. Hopefully on the same time, 8:30 Saturday, 6:30 Western Australian time. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.